What is rivalry called, Jim? The cities that get the Ohio.
The Battle of Ohio?
There you go.
There it is, yeah.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast. Two Ohio football fans bringing you the latest on the Cincinnati Bengals and Cleveland Browns. Uncut, real opinions from real dudes in the heart of the battle for NFL bragging rights in Ohio. Here are your hosts, Drew Garrison and Chad Penrod.
What is up?
What is up?
Do we have a lot to talk to you guys about today?
We have a lot to be happy about.
We both do.
We both
have a lot
are
to be
happy as
about.
shit.
Absolutely.
Man,
So-
what a week it's been. Free agency kicked off with a bang, and it's still going, dude.
It's not
Tyreek
near
Hill
done
was
yet.
just traded.
Yeah, dude,
Tyreek
what?
Hill was just traded.
That's insane. Today,
Dude,
Mark Smith, what up, dude?
the Dolphins, what's up, Mark? The Dolphins are legit if they had a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Tua stinks.
Like I said, I have a quarterback. I no longer know what that's like. I mean, when you got a quarterback, you just kind of.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm
I
happy,
heard this
man.
with Baker.
I'm happy,
I
man.
heard
Oh,
this
come
with
on,
Baker.
come on. You know, just say it. Just say it. Just say he's good.
Well, yeah, he's better than Baker,
Yes, he
but
is.
so
So is 20 others, right?
so there's a lot of guys. Yeah.
There's
So
not
I'm
many better than Watson, though. There's a few.
I gotta make this post so people can see this.
Mark says, "Who day, dude?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
They've did what they should have done. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's start off there, man.
Chris Hostetter, what's up, dude? How's it going?
Start off there.
Yeah, let's start with the Bengals, man. So, what was the number one thing the Bengals needed to do this offseason from your opinion, my opinion, and fucking everybody's opinion?
Get a new quarterback.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Don't even start that.
Had to protect that Ferrari, man. Had to put some insurance on that Ferrari. Can't be out here driving it without insurance. You know what I mean?
They built a garage for that motherfucker is what they did.
It's
So-
it's a lot better than it was. That's for damn sure.
Jake says, yeah, Joe Burrow is better with an A on it.
Oh,
He
he's
put a
talking
little
about
flavor on it,
Watson.
better
We're
than
about to
Watson.
see.
But yeah, so they start out legal tampering that Monday. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, legal tampering, but the deal was clearly done because at 12:02 p.m. that Monday, Alex Kappa, 4-year, $40 million deal to come to the Bengals.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Great
leaving
signing.
Tom Brady. I think it was supposed to be Ryan Jensen, but then Brady
Yeah.
said he was coming back. so
I'm
he's like,
surprised.
"Never mind."
I am surprised. So I was talking to my buddy Mike, who's a Buccaneers fan, and he says that Kappa was the odd guy out there.
Yeah,
So I guess if you want to say, and I don't want to sound like a dog in the Bengals here, but
oh, here he comes, the Bengal hater.
he told me that he was the worst of a very good line, and they're all solid. So not saying he's bad or anything like that, just saying that he was the odd man out.
He was the worst of the
Yeah,
bunch.
because you got to keep Jensen.
But here's the
Jensen's a
good
dog.
news: he's going to be a lot better than Akeem Adeniji by default.
Yeah, so I don't know. Were you looking at the Pro Football Focus grades on the Bengals line from last year to now?
Yeah, it's quite a big difference.
Yeah, so Bengals had linemen graded in like the 40s and 50s
Yeah.
last year. Now they don't have a guy that's less than lower or upper 60s, lower 70s, which is huge.
Yeah,
Which is a huge
yeah,
difference.
absolutely.
And then you got Leo Collins coming in around like 82.
I wanted him over Armstead, and I know that's highly
I
debated.
just want to say Batonio was a 93.
Well, okay. Austin says, I think Austin's comment here is about Jensen. He said they said Brady tried to call him, but the deal was already done. Rap sheet slipped up on it. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. Definitely not tampering though. Definitely completely within the rules. Duke
Right.
Tobin, the Bengals would never do that.
No, nobody would.
They just negotiated the deal in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually saw a tweet where I think it's been 3 years since the Bengals had an offensive lineman finish the season higher than 45th in PFF pass blocking grade.
Dude, they're
Of
going
the whole line.
They are going to be interesting this year because the one thing they needed was protection for Burrow. They have the receivers. They have the best receiver trio in the league. And now he's protected. And now Mixon, Mixon was still able to find holes.
Mixon's been good. He had 1,200 yards last year. Mixon's been good his whole career behind shitty lines. And I think I said that on Twitter the other day. We're talking about, how good Burrow's going to be and his numbers from a clean pocket and all that. That's all well and good. But what is that going to do for Joe Mixon?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a big
It's a totally different ball game when you can run the ball and have the protection to throw the ball. That's all they needed. I still think they have a few spots in the, they have one in the secondary. They still
perimeter corner.
They need a corner, which they'll get.
Eli Apple's back, dude.
Word is they're in on Gilmore.
I can't decide if that's real or not because
you have to think he's going to Vegas, right?
Well, it kind of seems like he's using the Bengals as leverage against the Raiders.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Raiders team just got a lot hotter this offseason too. Man. So it's probably going to be hard to not want to go there.
Yeah. You go there and then you got Max Crosby and fucking Chandler Jones screaming down your neck. And you put Gilmore back there, jeez.
But if the Bengals are able to throw a bag at Gilmore and their corners are, if it's Gilmore, Awuzie on the outside and Hilton in the slot, that's fucking great.
No, that's solid. That's solid. I think, and I think the reason, when you see like a trio like the Bengals have, who I think's top tier, you almost have to have those three corners. The team, not being a homer here, but the team that gave the Bengals a bit of a fit was the Browns, and that's because
they beat them by like 30.
Well, you got Ward and you got Newsome and you got Troy Hill and you got Greedy. You know what I mean?
Nick Chubb had like 180 yards.
Well, yeah, that helps too. But I mean, from a defensive standpoint, is eventually you got to man up. You can play zone to help out, but there's times you have to man up. And get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quicker. So
Mark says the Bengals should draft Gardner. I like Sauce Gardner.
He ain't making it to 31,
but he's not going to make it to 31. They would have to get aggressive and trade up. I don't expect that. But
did you hear his goal? So his goal is to be the best corner year one.
Hey, he didn't give up a passing touchdown his whole college career.
He's good.
He's very good. People are saying, well, he played for Cincinnati or he played at UC. I don't care. Bama didn't go his way.
Yeah.
Bryce Young and them didn't go his way.
No, he's good.
Josh Cantrell says Chargers are in for Gilmore. Also, give Josh a shout out. Dropped off hamburger wagon to me right before we started.
Let's talk about the Chargers for a minute. Holy shit. Bosa and Khalil Mack now.
Dude.
On top of fucking
Derwin James, Bosa.
JC Jackson.
They got Hayward.
Jesus.
I don't know, dude. They loaded up. The Raiders loaded up. The Broncos went and got Russ Wilson. And the Chiefs, what the fuck are the Chiefs doing?
Listen,
I'm not scared of the Chiefs anymore.
Let me touch on that real quick because it's like the Packers with Devontae Adams. Like the Packers was willing to match.
Yeah.
The Packers was willing to match every penny that Devontae Adams just didn't want to play for the Packers anymore. He wanted to go to Vegas with Carr. Kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
I understand that you have Patrick Mahomes, who's probably, in my opinion, he's the second best quarterback in the league. I mean, Rodgers back-to-back MVPs. I know he's a little bit older. Now, don't get me wrong. In the long run, I'll take Mahomes. But you can't really replace a guy like Tyreek Hill. You have those real rare guys.
Yeah.
And Tyreek Hill, you can't teach the speed that Tyreek Hill has.
No, not a
McCole Hardman is fast. He's very fast. But he's not Tyreek Hill fast. That's just, they probably don't beat the Bills without Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely not. Austin says y'all beat KC twice with him. Why are you so worried about, or why would you be scared? That's true. I ain't scared of nobody no more. But I don't know, man. Hey, look at this real quick. I'm going to shout out Bubby. What
up, Bub?
A hip-hop battle, man. Shaquille O'Neal.
$5,000, man.
Gave
Congrats,
my dude Bubby the bag the other night as he took first place. Congratulations, man. Congratulations on
Appreciate you stopping by, Bub.
Appreciate you popping in. But, yeah, man, Hill, you can't – he makes their offense good. They got Kelsey now, but, are you really going to lose sleep as a defensive coordinator over Hardman? Pringle? No.
No, that Pringle's gone.
Oh,
I don't know if he signed. I don't know if he signed anywhere yet, but he's a free agent still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, no, they're down to – they did pick up Juju. So, at least, Jackson and Juju can make TikToks together.
Oh, God. Jackson Mahomes, Juju, TikTok.
Patrick Mahomes is going to ask for a trade.
He just married her. He had a way out.
Man. It's like 3-on-1 there. Patrick's just so laid back too. He's just chill.
There's a video of them like on TikTok. They're doing like the clap shit, and Patrick Mahomes is just sitting there like eating a tortilla chip. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, what did I get myself into?
So,
you just can't replace a Tyreek Hill. You just can't replace that kind of speed.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't understand. Really, like Tyrann Mathieu is still on the market. I guess there's a chance he goes back, but you think they'd have it done by now.
No, they got Eric Reed. He ain't going back.
They got Corey Coleman though.
I mean, he dropped the ball from Deshaun Kaiser once that about made me rip his jersey. Actually,
he dropped the ball that made you go 0-16.
Man.
So
and they got Josh Gordon there.
Just the old Browns out there. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but AFC, man,
AFC's loaded, man, and our division just got better.
Yeah, the Steelers got.
I'm so happy that Zadarius Smith backed out of Baltimore.
Yeah, I was very glad to see that.
Pittsburgh, listen, I hate them, but dude, they are quietly loading up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not scared of their quarterback. They have the worst quarterback in the divion.
He's got a better win percentage than.
They fixed the line. They fixed the line. That guard they got from Chicago is underrated as shit. Maybe that he might end up being the best free agency pickup, and they got him for cheap. The defense only got better. They're still missing some cornerbacks and shit out there because it don't look like Hayden's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But that front line's going to be ended, and then they get Miles Jack. I know his PFF grade wasn't too bright, but you got to think with Pittsburgh, he's only going to get better. I mean, we'll see about that. But
Mark says Steelers looking up. I think he means looking up in the division.
Yeah. Steelers are finished 4th this year as of right now.
Who says he thought the Bears grabbed Pringle? Was that true?
They might have. I know somebody was in on Pringle. It might have been the Bears. I wasn't for sure if he signed yet or not. Pringle came on at the end of the year.
Yeah. No, he was good.
He was like, right there when he was like their second receiver there for a while. And I mean, he was balling.
Is he good? Is he one of those guys kind of, and that's what I wonder about Juju. Juju always did better when Antonio Brown was in Pittsburgh and he was number 2.
Exactly.
Who's going to be the true number 1 out there?
Right. Juju's not a number 1 in my opinion.
No, and Pringle's probably getting the looks because they're so worried about Hill and Kels.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, Kels is there obviously, but taking away Tyreek Hill from that offense, man, I think that's going to be bigger than what they think. I mean, just he does everything, those jet sweeps, those deep routes, those comeback routes. I mean, you just can't. I mean, who's gonna guard Tyreek Hill 1-on-1?
Well, and Josh said up here, I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Waddle and Hill are the fastest duo in the league. They are going to do some crazy shit. Probably getting those guys in.
Can Tua not underthrow him?
Get him to him. I just got this picture. You guys can't see it, but my child's in there watching me on the TV in a little playpen.
There you go.
Fucking locked in.
But the Bengals, man, the Bengals. So the Bengals have an A for me.
Yeah,
they did. I mean, they fixed the line, man. Protecting the man. Really, really no excuse. Not that Burrow's in his 3rd year. Not that he has an excuse, but I mean, it's there now. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do with some time.
Yeah, I mean,
because
he ran for his fucking life all year. He got sacked 7
and we
times.
talked about this. He didn't have the best postseason.
No,
he didn't. I mean, he did. He
wasn't the reason they were winning.
It was the defense. The defense balled out. So, but it's still Joe Burrow had a great season overall. I'm just interested to see what he does now that he's going to have a solid line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't remember the number, but his clean pocket grade was in the 90s. Like I think he might have been the best rated quarterback from a clean pocket in the league last year.
Yeah,
but he only had probably 5 of those all year.
And the Bengals are going to have to take advantage before they have to pay Burrow, before they have to pay Chase, before they have to pay Higgins. So,
time's now.
You got to load up. Don't stop now. I mean, I know you got that line. I mean, if there's a chance you can go get Gilmore, go get him.
Absolutely, yeah. And they still have money. They structured Collins. They've kind of modernized a little bit because that Collins deal, it's 3 years, but really it's 2 years, $20 million.
Right.
They have that void year to spread out the cap hit. So they kind of modernize with how they're doing that. So I'm really hoping that they continue to stay active. Go get Gilmore, man. Make that defense that was top 5 in the league even better. I can't believe they were top 5 run defense.
Oh, I believe it.
Except for that one game in Cincinnati.
They can't stop the Browns, man. It's their Achilles heel, bro.
Bubby Drew, when are you going to start coaching the league? Your resume is impeccable. You probably see the trophies back there. Yeah, a couple state championship flag trophies, Pee Wee trophy. Not a big deal. Actually, we won those together. There's a third one. It's at his house though. So I don't know, man. It's a situation where they got Kappa, Collins, and Karras for less than Armstead got.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think though, man. Armstead is a left tackle. Left tackles are completely different. Left tackles get paid. That's that guy's, your quarterback's blind side. And not only that, he's top 5 at what he does. I mean, that's different than guards and centers and right tackle. Especially when you have a right-handed quarterback. Those guys are definitely going to get paid a lot more.
So it's gonna. I mean, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. They didn't have any major holes. And I know people like to give him shit because he was a shit talker, but Eli Apple was not bad last year. He wasn't great.
He wasn't great in the Super Bowl, but
he only gave up 19 yards.
Man,
it was 2 touchdowns. One of the touchdowns was after the fucking refs walked him down to the fucking goal line.
Yeah.
Not to his blindside though. Yeah, that's true. They paid a left tackle
but
a lot
but
of money.
is Tua really gonna? I mean, this is the way we looked at Baker last year. When we said, all right, he's got Odell, you know what I mean? He's got Jarvis, he's got Chubb, he's got Hunt, he's got Njoku, he's got Hooper. No excuses. This is where Tua's at.
Yeah, he's got everything. He's got Waddle, he's got Hill. Yeah, they just
Gesicki. I mean, and they just got him Raheem Mostert. I mean, there's no excuses.
Tua sucks,
and the chances are it's going to be a right-handed quarterback.
Well, Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami, but they had to go.
Let's talk about the biggest free agent signing. The biggest trade. The biggest trade.
It was a free agent sign. That motherfucker's under contract with Houston for 3 more years and went on a whole free agency tour. That
Browns
was free agency.
Are fucking back. Super Bowl, Super Browns.
Is that like a Brown saying?
It is. Deshaun Watson to the Browns, baby. I've been saying it for 2 years.
You actually have, and that's
ever since he won it out. I said, go get him. You got to go get him.
Before we get into that, we've got a guest coming in here soon. But Bubby said your guys' friendship is dope. Ohio State, Michigan, Bengals, Browns. How do y'all do it? We talk a lot of shit, man. We talk a lot of shit.
So speaking of Deshaun Watson, we had a guy come on Twitter. His name's Hot Take Tommy. He started tweeting out, and it was about Watson coming to the Browns. A lot of shit said on Twitter. There's millions and millions of people. Somebody will say something, you're like, all right, another one of those guys, right? Tommy,
people call me one of those guys.
Tommy would say one thing, it came right. The next thing, he was right. Tommy had the insight on Deshaun Watson. So we got Tommy on the show today to tell us exactly what happened and how Deshaun Watson made his way to Cleveland. So I'm actually super excited for this guy to come on just because I want to know what happened. I want to know the inside. I want to know everything because I'm excited.
Yeah, so let's do it, man. Let's bring Tommy in.
Hey guys, Tommy, thanks for having me on.
Can you hear us?
What's up?
I can hear you a little bit, yeah. 1 second here.
Awesome.
Yep, can hear you now.
Awesome, man. We are excited to have you on. We've been talking back and forth for the last couple of days. You were all over Deshaun Watson, man. Him and Austin, his cousin, we're all in a group chat. I don't follow the Browns as much as the Bengals fan, but they're like, dude, Tommy's right on everything. So I'm probably going to let Chad field most of the questions there with you because he followed it a little bit closer than I did. But
Tommy, really cool. Everything you said came true, dude. Everybody was like, Browns are out of it. Browns are out of it. You would send a tweet like, Browns are not out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm being told Browns are not out of it yet. What the hell happened? Floor is yours.
Well, I think to start off, one thing to take away, and this isn't wild or any crazy observation, but people freak out. When something happens, people freak out. When people see something, people freak out. When someone leans one way, they freak out. When someone leans another way, excuse me, they freak out. But I continued to trust my source. I knew a lot of these moves that people were freaking out about were moves that were going to be made anyway and didn't really have any significance to Deshaun Watson. So I just continued to listen to my source, and what my source told me continued to pan out.
I mean, step for step, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you didn't waver.
No, I think I was something like 8 for 8 on like what my source was telling me. I was getting it first, and it was justifying to like have my source tell me the stuff, and he's been telling me for a while, and knowing it was going to come true, and then just kind of seeing people freak out everywhere.
Yeah, because obviously in the game we don't ask who the source is. You don't reveal your sources. That's how you get the relationships. But clearly, it's somebody that knows exactly what the hell was going on in the front office or in the minds of the Browns.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this real quick. So Thursday it came out the Browns were out of it. It was between the Saints and the Falcons. You said that's not true. Right? Or was you under the impression when it came out that they were out of it, and then something happened Friday morning? How did that go down?
Well, I didn't hear anything new. So the thing I was saying the day before was it was the Browns and the Falcons. The Saints were out of it. I didn't think the Saints were as legitimate players as many other people thought. When it came down to the end of things, it was Browns and it was the Falcons. It came down to two things. It was, did Deshaun Watson want to go and win and potentially win Super Bowls, or did he want to go home? And, home makes a lot of sense. So when it was being reported that that it was the Saints, I was like, that's absolutely not true. If he if the Browns are out of it, it's going to be Atlanta. It's not going to be anyone else. And he ultimately changed his mind and went to Cleveland.
They say that in football terms, Atlanta had it at the 1 yard line to where, saying they were right there. But I think Watson wanted one other thing. I don't know what that was. Do you know, was there some tipping point for him to where he was about to go to Atlanta and they just wouldn't budge on, I don't know if it was money. I don't know what it was. Was there really a tipping point like that?
I wouldn't say they were at the 1 yard line. I'd say they were in the red zone because the ultimate thing, Cleveland had this unbelievable roster that he knew Atlanta wasn't able to give him. Even if they were able to pull off the same trade that the Browns pulled off and not give any assets, they still don't have the team that Cleveland has. So when Andrew Berry got the heads up from Jimmy Haslam to say, go ahead, give him this, wild $230 million guaranteed contract. Ultimately, there was not much reason for him to go to Atlanta anymore. And I truly believe he would have gotten a similar contract or even bigger, depending on where he went.
I mean, that's just that's so much money, dude. But Jimmy Haslam, dude, he's a billionaire. He doesn't care. Yeah. We got a question from one of our listeners, Josh Cantrell. He says, do you think the way Cleveland structured his deal for 1 year suspension played a part in him going there? That's a very good question because his base salary is $1 million. So if he loses game checks, it's just out of that. And he's getting like $45 million signing bonus or something like that. Do you think that and I don't know, this could be something that you know from your source or something that you're just thinking, did that play into his decision making?
Well, I'd say yes and no. I don't think it necessarily played into his decision making, but part of the reason for doing that this year is to knock that contract money back to further years when they believe the cap will expand, and it allows the Browns to get some more like building block pieces this year and go, in a sense, close to all in.
Because they're going to reconstructure that next year to open up even more cap.
There's no way. Next year, he's set to make something like $54 million, $55 million a year. He's never going to get paid, or there will never be a cap hit of $55 million. They will prorate that contract. They'll throw money back, and they'll give him some more signing bonus money.
And kind of back to what you were saying, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but about 50 minutes ago, Albert Breer was on Bull and Fox, and he said Deshaun Watson woke up Friday morning and had the thought, I'm not prioritizing the right things here. If I want to leave a legacy, win Super Bowls, I need to go to the place with the best football situation, and that was Cleveland.
Yeah.
And that's in line with exactly you were saying. So when Andrew Berry got into the room with him, like he does every other free agent, did he just wow him?
Yeah. There were stories that came out that He loved his time with Cleveland. He loved Kevin Stefanski, especially. Kevin Stefanski got to go into a room with him alone for hour and a half and just go on an iPad and show him plays and show him what he could be in Cleveland. I think he, in the back of his head, he saw, boy, a guy like Baker Mayfield had this much success in Cleveland, and I'm this much better than him. And the roster is only getting better. Like, what can the sky be for me?
Mm-hmm.
So the Browns absolutely blew him away. He loved the front office. He loved Jimmy Haslam. He loved the knowledge that Jimmy Haslam had of all his players. A lot of these reports were coming out that, like he didn't actually like Jimmy and he was just doing it as a favor, this, that, and the other. And that was all BS. That was bullshit.
Yeah. Now, we know that there's a possible suspension looming with Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know maybe how many games the league is leaning here, or are we not sure yet, or how's that looking?
Yeah, it's super tough to know because Goodell hasn't had much consistency with how he's put out suspensions in the past. And not only that, Deshaun Watson's situation is a whole lot different than everyone else's situation. I'd imagine if he was able to get the civil cases cleared, that even though he'd be, proven innocent completely in the court of law, that the NFL is still going to make a statement on this, essentially because they have to. I would be assuming anywhere from 4 to 8 games that Deshaun Watson will be out.
That was my thought initially. I thought 8 games, appeal, knock down to 6. Mm-hmm. But then people did make valid points. If there's not a lot of consistency, like you mentioned, but if you look at like what Ben Roethlisberger got when he was in a situation, I think it was 6 games, but this is 22 different allegations. So it is going to be weird. I've never seen anything where somebody, has this much hanging over their head, but if he settles it in civil court and, he pays out or whatever, is the NFL going to say, well, that looks like an admission of guilt because you paid them to drop it? So that's what's going to be the most interesting, because from right now, from what I've seen from Deshaun Watson was, I'm 100% innocent. I'm not paying anybody. We can take this to court. Mm-hmm. And so far it's paid off for him. So I wonder if, if he settles it just to get it out of the way, and he's clearly got the fucking money now.
Yeah.
If Roger Goodell's going to be like, wait, man, were you just trying to make this go away? So it's going to be very, very interesting. But I guess that's why you go get Jacoby Brissett. They know something's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I think it definitely does look worse if he pays out. When you look at guys like Zeke Elliott and you look at guys like Ben Roethlisberger, obviously they weren't convicted criminally, but they both paid settlements. And we saw 6-game suspensions for them. So it'll be interesting what the league does if Deshaun Watson does not settle and does not pay any of the women. That's kind of above me, obviously, and it's Goodell's decision to make. So we'll just have to kind of sit back and see, and probably before or sometime leading up to training camp, that's when we'll find out.
Tommy, I got a question too. We still have another quarterback on the roster, Baker Mayfield. Is there even a market out there for him? Is he going to just get cut and the Browns are going to eat this $18 million? Are they going to hold off? I mean, it seems like the ball's kind of out of their court right now. It seems like nobody wants Baker Mayfield, which is kind of weird when you have guys, like Drew Lock on a team. I get it. Baker has that chip on his shoulder. You hearing anything on that?
Well, I know the Browns are in no rush to do anything. They're not going to trade him while his market is completely tanked. I think there's a very good shot that Cleveland holds on to him going into the season, that he's just that third quarterback on the roster and never shows up for anything, because you could see a guy go down and break his leg and, there's a second rounder for Baker now.
That's what he was kind of saying the other day.
They're going to maximize Baker Mayfield's value. They viewed him as first-round talent before the trade when they were looking for trade suitors. And I don't think they're going to get that, but they're certainly not going to give him for a 6th or a 7th or like a 5th and eat part of his salary. They're just not going to do that. So they're willing to sit and wait. But it is an awful, weird situation. I think no one's ego has been checked more in the last 48, 72 hours than Baker Mayfield. He went from, still a better than half of the league quarterback to nobody wants me. Nobody wants to take on my $18 million salary, which when you look around the league is not that much.
Nothing.
People don't want to commit to him for the future, and it's wild. And I think it goes back to three things. I think it goes back to calling out Kevin Stefanski multiple times this season. I think it goes back to the Detroit game when he didn't talk to the media and didn't talk to the team after the game. Even after he won, I know he lost a lot of the locker room there. And it goes back to playing with a broken shoulder against the advice of the team and going with what his camp wanted to do. That accumulated with kind of all the other problems that were swept under the rug the previous 3 years.
And I was hearing too that he lost a lot of the player. You don't see any of these players coming out for Baker Mayfield, which is very odd to me. Week 18, he says, I'm going to go over with my agent and my family, and I'm not going to play that week 18 game against the Bengals when everyone else played. And I heard that he lost some of the locker room there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely lost some of the locker room there. I think a lot of the team felt that he kind of gave up. If the team advised him at that point, like, hey, sit this out, I think it would have been much different, but he just kind of left and went, 0 dark 30. And I think that was about the time when he had his mind set up that he was going to sit out and not play next year because he saw the writing on the wall that the Browns were not going to give him a contract extension and that the Browns were looking to improve on the quarterback position.
And people are blaming the Browns when there was actually there was 12 other teams, 13 including the Browns, that were actually in on Deshaun Watson. And in my opinion, I don't know how you feel, but Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield aren't even on the same planet.
No, absolutely not. And I think it just goes to show these players that were so unhappy in Cleveland, OBJ, and then a guy who left in Jarvis Landry who wasn't willing to rework his deal to stay in Cleveland, magically have interest in Cleveland again, funny enough, when they get a new quarterback. I just don't think Baker was as beloved by that locker room at the end of the day as he was by the fans. I think Baker completely had the locker room going into the season, but the front office was weary. And then once the players started to waver, it just kind of fell off the tracks.
I don't know. It's such a fall from grace, man, because Chad here and our buddy Austin, man, when Baker first kind of came on the scene, like, we got our guy, that's it. And then Browns fans turned on him quick, man. I'm not saying that they necessarily did. They both said that they'll root for Baker anywhere, but he is kind of hurting his image now. But it's just a crazy fall from grace, and is a question that I wanted to ask without getting too far into the weeds of the stuff that Deshaun Watson is alleged to have done. Is there a split in the fan base that you're seeing? Because I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter where some people are like, I'll be a Bengals fan now, because is the split that big in the area that you've noticed too?
Yeah, there's definitely a split. And like I've said before, I'm not going to get mad at anyone for coming out and saying that they're not going to be a Cleveland Browns fan anymore because Deshaun Watson is the quarterback. And I understand that. And even I have some hesitancy to come out in full support of Deshaun Watson. I love the player, obviously, but there's so much looming over him that it's hard to be like, I love Deshaun Watson. So there's definitely a divide in the fan base, and it's a little toxic in terms of like people saying if you support the Cleveland Browns still, you support sexual assault, you support this, that, and the other. And I just don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy going around. When you look at the NFL, and if you want to get mad at anyone, get mad at the NFL, because the NFL is a league of second chances if you're really effing good at football. Time and time again, you see it all around the league. A guy who was just traded today, Tyreek Hill, punched his pregnant girlfriend in the stomach, and no one seems to be talking about that. Joe Mixon clocked a girl in the face in college.
Hey, leave us out of this, man.
I'm trying to. But, and Ray Lewis was even alleged to kill a man. But the league is a league of second chances if you're really effing good at football. And I think if people are pigeonholing one fan base, that it's pretty hypocritical, because there's a lot of not great human beings in the NFL if we're just keeping it 100.
Yeah, most of the people that are bitching about Deshaun Watson now have rooted for somebody who did something bad. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not. I don't know, man. You know, people get politics really into football, and I have my political opinions, but it's not going to affect my football because it's just. I can't think of anything that would make me stop watching football. But yeah, if somebody says, "Hey, man, I'm not cool with what that guy did. I don't want to be a fan of the team," hey, that's your right,
Absolutely.
dude. Do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
you know,
And Tommy, I was bringing it up, and I said it on Facebook. I said I have everything in this world that's ever made me happy, except for a Browns Super Bowl. I'm all about the name on the front. All I care about is winning. I understand what Deshaun and Kareem and the Burficts and Pac-Mans and Mixons
you keep bringing
and
Burfict
Hills and
into
all
this.
that. And I understand that they might be bad people, but if it helps your team win a Super Bowl, I'm kind of all about it when it comes to the Browns, man. I can't lie.
I got to stick up for Burfict real quick.
I
Keep
understand
throwing
that.
Burfict's name out. He never got in trouble off the field ever.
Okay.
He fucked people up on it. But.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, being a fan is a choice, and I don't think anybody should be criticized whether they're a fan of the Browns or not a fan of the Browns. I support the Cleveland Browns, not necessarily the players on the field.
Right.
Myles Garrett, who's maybe my favorite player in the world right now, could get up and say I'm not going to be on the Browns at all, and get released tomorrow, and I would still be just as much of a Cleveland Browns fan tomorrow as I was today.
Absolutely. Even though I get mad at them and go on my rants or all that, but at the end of the day, I got a freaking elf tattooed on me for a reason. So
yeah, I've said I was quitting the Bengals a few times. I just got a Bengals helmet on the back of my leg, and my wonderful girlfriend and mother of my daughter says things that would make Drew stop watching football: a rigged Super Bowl. That was a close one because I felt like it was rigged, but here I am. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy, we appreciate it, man. That's awesome stuff. We appreciate you coming in and giving us all the details of what went down with Deshaun.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, give Tommy a follow on Twitter. I think it's at Hot Take Tommy 2, correct? The number 2?
Yeah, at Hot Take Tommy 2.
He's great follow for Browns fans.
Yeah, man. Good luck with all the success that you're having from this and things that you're going to build from it, man. We appreciate you stopping by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'll see you soon.
See you, man.
Awesome stuff there.
That was awesome.
He got it, like he said, he was 8 for 8 on Twitter. He would send, he posted something and it was like, all right, whatever. Cause Austin and I would message each other back and forth. And, he got it right. He would hit. And then the second one he would hit again. It's like, wait, it ain't going to happen again. Then it was 3 times. It was 4 times. Like, all right, this guy has a source real close to the situation.
Yeah, you only guess.
He's saying, you're right. He's saying that Cleveland's still on Watson. And then it came in on Thursday that the Browns were completely out. And Friday, 3:52, my fucking phone's going off, exploding that Deshaun Watson's a Cleveland Brown. And first person I thought about was him. Like, dude, this dude nailed it.
Tommy was like your guys' saving grace. You and Austin were having like a really rough day and a half or so.
So you're in on Watson. Like I said, teams that don't have a quarterback, I guess I can understand why they wouldn't be in on Watson, but from a football standpoint, I don't know why they wouldn't be in on Watson. And come to find out, 13 teams total were in on him. He chose 5. I was like, all right, I'm willing to go to these 5.
The Colts called and the Texans were like,
nope, hung up. So from a football standpoint, man, it just top 5, top 10 quarterback, however you want to look at him.
All that drama, all that money, all that shit just to see the Bengals win the division again.
But like I said, though, man, so the Browns kind of put themselves in a bad situation there for a minute. They go after Watson. Baker has another hissy fit, requests a trade when the fallback plan B for Andrew Berry was Baker Mayfield, apparently. They get wind. They get wind. I thought Haslam goes in there Friday and was like, whatever it takes, which would have been the contract. But Sports Illustrated posts the article of what I just read that Watson said. Watson wakes up Friday and is like, all right, I got to put myself in a better situation here and think about my legacy and Super Bowls, and decided to go to Cleveland.
You can't go to Atlanta anyway, man. They got Magic
I mean,
City.
what would
too many titty bars down
What would you have done in Atlanta? Like, who was there? Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley suspended. They just lost Russell Gage. Apparently, they were going to have Fournette and Landry in, but what was that going to do?
I mean, not a ton.
I mean, see, I would have thought if it was about football, it'd have been between New Orleans and Cleveland.
Yeah,
with Cleveland having the best roster, and that's what Deshaun thought as well. So.
Maybe he went to Cleveland because there's not shit to do.
That's good. Exactly why Johnny Manziel didn't want to go to Cleveland, right?
Like, you know,
Johnny still shits on, like, he don't shit on like the Browns organization because I mean they drafted him. He's like, that place is fucking boring. I don't know how. I mean, I love it every time I'm down there, but I'm always down there drunk, you know, for a reason.
At a game,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a bunch of comments now.
Yeah, I'm trying to run through them. We've got a few people. So Michael McGuire, Juice and Clowney coming back. Josh Cantrell's Clowney coming back. Aaron Lake.
Yeah, so they're saying
Landry and Clowney
are so the Browns offered Clowney a 2-year, $24 million contract, and they're waiting to hear from him now. When Deshaun Watson was traded to the Browns, Clowney put it up on his Instagram, and then somebody tweeted at Clowney and said, "Hey, let's hurry up and get this done. You know, run it back with Garrett," and he liked it. So it's looking promising for Clowney. I don't know about Landry. I know Landry was going to go to Atlanta and play with Deshaun. So why he wouldn't come back, I'm sure the money's going to have to be right. But I think a lot of what's holding up what the Browns want to do is that $18 million that Baker has on the books. I think, see, Tommy said that they're in no rush, but that $18 million could take this team pretty far, especially a team without a first round pick. You know what I mean? That $18 million pays for Clowney alone, plus maybe another guy. So I think that they want to get that done maybe quicker than he's being told. I mean, he's the guy, but it only makes sense to me if that was done quicker.
And now here's where things get interesting. Did you guys see the Steelers want Baker? Your thoughts? If Baker Mayfield ends up a Pittsburgh Steeler, it's going to be because the Browns cut him. They will not trade him there under any circumstance. He was a number one.
I hate that story because when that little cocksucker decides to play, it's when he's going at somebody. And the Bengals were always the fucking team he's
pissed off
at for whatever reason, whether it was Hugh Jackson or whatever, and he would just light it up and then, be average, the rest of the time. But that would be interesting.
He would start.
I wouldn't like it. I don't know. I don't even know. They say the Steelers would be intrigued, and oh my God. The only reason I want that to happen is because I have so many Steelers fans that are friends and family that gave me so much shit talking about how bad he sucks, and I just want to be like, does he still suck?
Oh, yeah, the 180 would be funny, but dude, give me a Sunday Night Football Browns-Steelers matchup post Deshaun suspension.
Cleveland.
In Cleveland with Baker Mayfield.
Jeez.
You would have to go.
Oh, dude. Me and Austin's already talked. Brady's coming to Cleveland this year. We're going.
Dude, I'm thinking about flying to Tampa to watch the Bengals play the Bucs so I can say I saw Brady. I got a free place to stay.
Yeah, we want to go to the Browns Bucs.
Schedule release will be here in a few weeks, so we'll have to start planning for that. It's gonna be wild, man. But I want to talk about Trubisky real quick. He sucks.
His numbers are good.
I thought Baker was Andy Dalton, right? Has to have everything perfect, can be good. He's obviously way more talented than Andy Dalton. He's better than Trubisky. He would start in Pittsburgh.
You would think.
He would start if he's healthy, he would start in Pittsburgh.
That's what I was saying too, man. The Browns went 8-9 last year, and Baker statistically was a bottom 5 quarterback. I think Baker's way better than he was last year.
Yes.
A torn labrum for a lot of, a little guy like that has to use his whole body, a lot of, torque.
Stefanski hung him out to dry too, dude.
I mean, and then like Tommy said though, man, then he called out fucking Stefanski at the end of the season. He didn't want to talk to the media after a bad game and still beat Detroit. I mean, you just don't see that. I love Baker. If Baker goes to Seattle, obviously if Baker goes to the Steelers, I will never root for him. But if Baker goes to Seattle, I'm going to root for him. But the things that I got irritated with and was fed up with was the immaturity. Like, I'm on the internet all the time. I do not want my quarterback on the internet, like going at Colin Cowherd and going at reporters. And
it was fun at the beginning.
Yeah.
But at some point it's like, all right, dude,
there's a difference between with the chip on your shoulder and just straight immaturity. And he's just immature at times.
We got your wife weighing in, dude. There's a lot of text here. Let's read it. She says there are a lot of shitty humans in the NFL, but it's all politics. It's about who it is, what they're going to do, and if it's a favorite team, then it's over.
Well, yeah.
I don't think they're only talking about them because it's the Browns, but there's definitely the big market bias or teams get away with shit.
Well, no, and I think what she's talking about, it's like, all right, the Browns like Watson. Now The Steelers are going to talk about what he did. The Bengals are. The Ravens are.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ray Lewis and Ray Rice and Joe Mixon. Like, you're going to, hey, he did this, but realistically, all we give a fuck about is, can they win?
Yeah,
are they good? Can Joe Mixon run 1,000 yards? Can Deshaun Watson throw for 4,000? That's all we really care about.
Yeah, I mean,
and is this shit serious? Absolutely. But is it going to be swept under the rug when he wins 10 games? Absolutely. That's just how the NFL works. Like he said, it's a league of second chances.
Probably won't win 10 as long as Burrow's around, but I mean, whatever you want to think.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
But when it comes to that, look, there are certain things, and I try not to dive into this too much because fucking somebody's going to be mad, but I piss people off every day, so fuck it. There are some things that a human being could do that Joe Burrow could do, and I would say, fuck that guy. I'm never going to root for him. I'm not going to say what they are because it's like sick, fucked up shit. But at the same time, Deshaun Watson, famous quarterback, goes on and says, I want to trade. He's all over TV. Next day, all this stuff comes out. That's fine. But, I mean, the idea of – I'm just going to say it.
Say it.
There's no allegations of Deshaun Watson holding a woman down and raping her. My understanding is Deshaun Watson was getting a massage, asked for his butt played with, and a hand job. And if he intimidated somebody into giving him a hand job, that's terrible. But there's a difference to that, to me, in that and Ben Roethlisberger trapping a woman in a bathroom of a bar and not letting her out until he has his way with her. There's a difference there. I'm not saying either one is right, but one is worse than the other, in my opinion. How many followers did I just lose?
I'm gonna let you have that moment.
Man, fuck it. You know what? Like, I piss people off every day.
I get it. I touch them. Like he said, if you don't want to root for the Browns anymore, that's fine.
We'll take you.
That's your choice. That is your choice. When the shit happened with Mixon, if you didn't want to root for the Bengals no more, people get it. That's your choice.
I will say Mixon did that when he was in college. Played 2 more years, then got drafted.
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah,
wrong is wrong.
He just wasn't a Bengal when he
did. But I'm all about this. Okay, I don't care. This could not even have a name on the back. And this is what I'm about.
Who is that? Is that JOK?
JOK.
That's what I thought.
So I'm married. I have 2 wonderful kids, wonderful wife, have a great job. The only thing that I want, the only thing why we are doing this is I want a Browns Super Bowl.
I feel worse than you, though.
Baker Mayfield, and I love Baker, was never going to be that quarterback. Go back and watch, even in a good year, when we were versing the Chiefs. Obviously, if Pat Mahomes don't go out, we probably don't even have a shot anyway. But that last drive, he had the ball in his hands and couldn't do nothing with it.
I believe that game ended on a pick, did it?
Deshaun Watson is going to win football games, and that's all that matters.
Fuck's honking their horn.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we really give a shit about. We see here. Jake says Packers and Chiefs have reached out for Lockett and DK. Someone call Andrew Barry and tell him to get on the phone. Dude, shut the fuck up. You want Cleveland to win now? What the fuck are you doing?
I actually heard
put that shit out in the universe. What the fuck are you doing?
I actually heard that they're trying to extend DK, but I have heard Lockett is available, which would. Dude, tell me the Browns getting Amari Cooper for a 5th right now don't seem like the biggest fucking steal.
The Bengals got Lyle Collins for nothing because Dallas can't afford guys because they paid the 2nd best running back on their team too much money. Zeke Elliott's a piece of shit. I've never liked that guy, though. I'm a Michigan fan.
What'd Lake say?
Let's see. Steelers made a good move with Trubisky. The quarterbacks in this year's draft are so-so. If Trubisky fails, they draft a quarterback in 23. If he does well, they look like genius.
And I'm telling you, watch out for them with Malik Willis. Tomlin has been said to be all over that kid.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect place for him. If he's going to revitalize his career, it's there.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure after that.
Chad cried when the Cavs won the championship in 2016. Man loves the sports. Hey,
I'm not sure that Willis gets past the Seahawks, especially if they don't go get Baker.
Can we stop with this fucking off-script throw video that he posted?
Yeah, but that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. Every quarterback should be able to do that. Now, he fucking bombed it.
He did, but
so did fucking Fields, and so did Zach Wilson, and you know what I mean?
He's in shorts, no pads.
That's
no
the kind
defense.
of shit. That's the kind of shit that gets that makes guys get overdrafted.
He fucking celebrated like he won the Super Bowl. There's 2 people on the field.
He dropped it in the bucket.
It was a great throw. Don't get me wrong, but give me a fucking break.
That's the shit that's going to get him overdrafted.
He
goes to the wrong place. He's fucked.
Yeah,
he goes to the Steelers. Ooh, I'd hate it. I hope we don't make it to Pittsburgh.
I'm more worried about Kenny Pickett.
But actually, and we were, like I said, we always say this, we're in that group chat, and I didn't think Trubisky, I don't think Trubisky's all that, but the more and more they build their defense, the more and more they build their offense. Don't forget that Najee Harris is there. Don't forget that Deontay Johnson is there. It's looking better and better for Trubisky because they're putting pieces around him. But with that said, as Browns fans, as Bengals fans up until recent, we know you cannot win shit without a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Trubisky might take you to a wild card game, but you're probably not going to win anything after that.
Mitch Trubisky, better career record than Deshaun Watson.
He has a better career record than Burrow.
Well, he's been in the league longer.
He still has a better record. I mean,
Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear
it. I mean, it's just, we could say whatever. I mean,
I'm just throwing out some stuff that I see when I'm scrolling the old tweeter. This is not related to anything. Kyrie's allowed to play in fucking Brooklyn now.
He should be able to.
He should have been able to do that about a year ago. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Let's talk real quick about some of the losses the Browns have had, because I know some you say are more significant than others. So
yeah,
they lost. Jarvis Landry's gone. Maybe coming back.
That one's to be dated. Can't really talk about that. Word is that they're trying to bring him back.
So he's gone. J.C. Treader left, who I wish the Bengals would have been in on. They are not going to be.
So the Browns drafted Nick Harris from Notre Dame a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and he actually filled in for the Packers game because J.C. doesn't miss a lot, and he's playing with bad knees.
Yeah, COVID, dude.
And Nick Harris was great. So the Browns had to do that. They saved money, and you already have the center. The
replacement,
right? You already had the replacement there. That don't bug me at all. And having a quarterback like Watson that can scramble, you know what I mean. You still have Batonio and Wills and Teller and Jack Conklin. So
their line's still good.
Yeah, I mean you're still a top 5 line.
What about
and you have 2 guards like that? They're gonna cover over a bad play. And I don't even think Nick Harris is going to have bad play.
The failed Austin Hooper experiment's over. He's a Titan now.
Yeah, I think that was a good pickup for the Titans.
I don't think so because Ryan Tannehill's fucking garbage.
Yeah, but they go to tight ends a lot there ever since they had Delaney Walker.
Yeah,
it just didn't work out. I mean, but what receiver, what tight end has really worked out when Baker Mayfield's been there? I mean, it's just the offense from a passing standpoint hasn't been that great.
Would Cleveland forgive Odell and bring him back?
I don't want Odell back. I heard it's there, and I heard he's interested. I heard a bunch of guys are interested now that Watson's there, but I'm not interested. That doesn't do anything for me. I want and I know he's hurt a lot, but I want Will Fuller.
Well, the Fuller-Watson connection obviously makes a lot of sense, but yeah, wasn't he stuck with Tua for a year or two though?
Yeah,
can't blame him.
But look what he does when he has Watson. I mean, it's
if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing. If that man can play, 17 games, he good chance he'd be a Pro Bowler.
And so I think when we were running through this before the show, the biggest loss that you're worried about for the Browns was MJ Stewart, right?
Yeah, outside of Clowney, if they don't bring Clowney back. Now, if they don't bring Clowney back, I'm hoping they can get somebody like Jerry Hughes or Melvin Ingram, maybe both. But it's looking more and more like Clowney's going to come back. But yeah, MJ Stewart. So the Browns play that nickel defense because, you have Delpit and you have John Johnson. But they play that third safety. So you already lost Ronnie Harrison, who I figured was gone anyway, whatever. But MJ Stewart was actually the most efficient player on the Browns defense last year. The guy can play nickel cornerback. He can play outside cornerback. He can play either safety spot. And the Texans got him for less than $3 million. I feel like that's going to be the miss from Andrew Berry. I feel like at that price, they should have had MJ Stewart back.
Maybe gave him $4 million to get him to step.
Yeah, 3, 4, whatever he needs. I mean, it's just I feel like he was key to the defense. But maybe we can go out here and grab the Honey Badger.
That would suck. I don't like that at all. How is he? Why didn't he have a deal yet?
I don't know. How old is he? Do you know?
I don't think he's that old.
I don't think he's that old either.
I remember he got in a bunch of trouble in college for smoking weed, and maybe he's been in the league 6-7 years.
Yeah, maybe a little longer. He's still a baller. I mean, he was like
so good as fuck.
The Chiefs' defense the Chiefs' defense was bad, but they were a lot better when he was on the field.
Except for when Jamar Chase was on the field. But yeah.
Jamar Chase did a lot of defenders dirty this year. He's going to have some tape out on him. No, don't get me wrong. He's still going to be great. But what he did as a rookie was unbelievable.
Jake says that the Honey Badger's 29. It's not super old.
No. Fuck no. I'd take him.
Super old.
I would take him.
And there is tape on Jamar Chase, but a lot of time he just ran past motherfuckers.
Right. So the Browns, MJ Stewart, I feel is a big loss. Hopefully we can get Clowney back. The rest of them, whatever. Because, Jarvis, you kind of replace him with Cooper, who I'm taking Cooper all day there. But
David says legalize Mary Jane federally. Let people smoke as much weed as they want. I don't give a shit.
So the Bengals, big
key losses for the Bengals. Yeah, I was kind of getting ready to transition into that. I think the one, and we've talked a lot about this, that hurt a lot of the fans was CJ Uzomah. You cannot, and under any circumstance, pay CJ Uzomah $24 million.
He was so overrated, dude. Like,
he's not.
Don't get me. And I feel like they could have done better in Hayden Hurst. Like, in my opinion, you have Burrow, a baller. You have them 3 receivers. If you guys could have went after, and this is my opinion, somebody like Evan Ingram, Austin Hooper, one of those guys.
Ingram can't stay healthy.
Great there. I do think that Hayden Hurst is a very nice pickup, but I think the most receiving yards he's ever had in a season is like less than 300. So it's kind of a weird thing. And he was playing. He went in to a Matt Ryan offense right after Hooper left, and Hooper was putting up like 1,000 yards, like 70 catches, and it was weird that he never worked out there. So I don't know that. If you want the Uzomah production for cheaper, I like the Hayden.
That's
Hayden
what
Hurst.
I was getting ready to say. He's going to give you what Uzomah was able to give you. My thing with Uzomah is I loved the guy. He was a great locker room guy. He was a great team leader guy. He was a great all of that shit. When he ripped his knee brace off at the Super Bowl pre-rally or whatever they had down, that was fucking dope. You cannot pay that guy $24 million. He just didn't produce. He had, and like I had said, 50 catches, 5 touchdowns, 500 yards. Not terrible in an offense that's gonna focus the most on those receivers, but it's not worth $24 million. That's $8.5 million a year.
I agree. But I still think, with Burrow and watching him in college with Thad Moss,
we still got him stashed in the old fucking hip pocket.
He ain't gonna work in the NFL, but go get him. And big time athletic tight end, that's what would scare me if they get like McBride.
That's it. That's the ticket.
I would hate that.
Second or in the fucking first.
I would hate that. Well, now you take best player available.
Take him in the first, get the 5th-year option. Who gives a shit?
You got the line fixed. I mean,
yeah. Take him in the first, get the 5th-year option. Who gives a shit?
They're putting a lot of eggs in the basket there of Jackson Carmen, which they should. That was their 2nd-round pick, so he's going to have to step up there.
He's the left guard. He's going to be the left guard. Capo's going to play right. Another loss that I was going to hit on that's a little bit, I don't know, it's not huge, but the way that the situation played out is weird. The Bengals still need a 3 technique. You've got BJ Hill, you've got DJ Reader. DJ Reader's going to be your primary nose tackle. BJ Hill was great last year. I think he earned his money. Larry Ogunjobi was reported to go to Chicago on a big deal, getting the bag, as the kids would say. But he failed a physical. I'm guessing it's related to the ankle that he hurt in the wild card game against the Raiders. There's been some talk of, does Larry come back on a cheaper deal if he can get this physical thing cleared, like maybe another prove-it deal?
I do not think that he failed that physical bad enough for them not to give him that money.
You think they were just like, oh, shit.
They fucked up. They fucked up. They knew they fucked up, and that's what happened. I like Larry. He used to be a Brown, but he was not worth the money that they were willing to pay him.
Larry was, and he graded not great last year. And the problem with Larry Ogunjobi was in the backfield all the time. He just missed a lot of tackles back there. Mm-hmm. But on a cheap prove-it deal, again, I would take Ogunjobi back just to fill that 3 technique spot.
Yeah, just like I said, just some inconsistencies there with Larry.
But I feel like they were in a position where it was going to be you have to pay Hill or you have to pay Ogunjobi. It was definitely Hill.
Yeah,
they got Hill for Billy Price. I mean, that was nothing. I don't know if the Giants didn't know what they had or if he just fit right with Lou or whatever. But I'm glad to see him back. But not a ton of huge losses. I put Darius Phillips on there. I don't know why. He's fucking terrible.
that's your boy.
I really, really wanted to believe in Darius Phillips.
That's the kick returner, though, right? Isn't he the real good kick returner?
No, he lost his kick returner job. You're thinking of Brandon Wilson, the
That's
safety.
right. Okay.
He blew his knee out mid-season last year.
So, but he'll be back, right?
Actually,
is he a free agent?
I think he actually is.
He's a hell of a kick returner. Hey, and speaking of kick returners, what a good get by the Browns.
Who?
Jakeem Grant.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
He's possibly the best kick
returner,
punt returner in the league. I mean, not that we're talking about kick returns, but I actually think that getting Brandon Wilson back would be good for the Bengals, man. Like, if there's one thing the Bengals taught me last year, it's fucking special teams.
Oh yeah,
that Evan McPherson get was ridiculous.
That's why we're going to draft Matt Ariazza.
No, we're getting Matt Ariazza.
Dude,
we're getting with our third round compensation pick that we got from our the new GM of the Vikings. That's who we're going to take. We just got to figure out a kicker.
The Giants are determined to suck for the rest of it. You're not a Giants fan anymore. You're a Bengals fan, babe. Get over it. Aaron Lakes. Chad, what are the Browns doing at defensive tackle? One Malik is old and the other is crazy. Who's crazy?
So Malik McDowell is apparently gone. That's the 58. He's the one that was naked fighting the cop. So
did he
Did he win
the fight?
I have no idea. Word is the Browns are in on Akeem Hicks, which is actually the #1 defensive tackle from Pro Football Focus, still out there. Old Chicago Bear. That's who I hope they get. If they do not land him, I'm hoping that it's Eddie Goldman.
He's solid too.
Yeah, but I hope it's Hicks.
Those are guys that are going to be good in a rotation. Yeah, defensive line rotation.
Well, I mean, Hicks is going to start. I mean, Hicks he's a dog. That's who I hope they get. Yeah, because they have to figure out defensive tackle. The weakest spot on the Browns now that they have Cooper is defensive tackle. And then obviously you got to hope Clowney comes back because right now the defensive line is struggling outside of Miles.
Jake says Gunnar Olszewski to the Steelers is a problem. All pro kick returner.
Yeah, that's the old dude from the Patriots.
Oh, they never work out anywhere else.
Yeah.
They only work out with
Matthew Slater's been good for a long time.
Bill Belichick. So we're hitting about an hour. We got anything else?
That's it, man. Appreciate Hot Take Tommy coming on.
That was awesome. Like I said, we don't.
You guys got to give him a follow. Browns fans need to give him a follow. That dude was on it.
I followed him too.
Yeah, he's on it. I mean, you're in the middle of Austin and I talking, so you're seeing it. So when you actually see it and it's happening, like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, I was like,
it's one of them times where it's like a long time ago they used to think that an old Browns tight end made a fake Twitter and was leaking out information.
You almost thought that was
yeah, if I wouldn't have seen Tommy, I'd have been like, dude, that's somebody in the front office.
Greg Joseph. Is he still your kicker?
No.
Oh, fuck. I fucked the joke up. All right, yeah, so we're going to get out of here. We got more draft talk coming up to get back in here with. Don't always ask for this, but go ahead and like, subscribe, all that shit, wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, subscribe to us. We appreciate it. I don't know, man. I don't have anything else. The Bengals are definitely going to win the division again, though. That's what I've kind of learned from this whole thing.
Deshaun Watson just ruined anything you guys had left.
Maybe 8 games worth. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in.
I just hope, real quick, that the second he's not suspended, it's Browns Bengals on primetime. We deserve that.
You're not going to give him a week to fucking get back in the groove of
we deserve it. We deserve it. In Cleveland.
He didn't play football all year last year. You don't want him to have 1 week?
No, I want to go right at the Bengals.
What if he just throws 3 picks, first game back in a year and a half?
Then we'll trade him back for the 3 picks.
You can get that fucking money back. All right. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We will catch you back in here next time. I will try to give you guys some advance notice before we start doing shows so you can plan. We're going to try to do them a little bit later, too. We kept doing 5 o'clock. People are just getting off work. So we will catch you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Here we go.
Don't make me stop that so you can finish your fucking Browns chant.
Thank you for listening to the Battle of Ohio podcast on Believe. Tune in next week for whatever these two dumbasses come up with next.